Oh, hi. What's going on? Comment in the chat right off the front, courtesy of Jack. And Jack says, whose idea was it to sign Chris Tanev for 6 years of his late 30s? They're going to have to buy him out. This is a mess. Well, Jack, I have an update for you.
It's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came in to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came in to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K,
All in, we came in to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
You are now listening to The Sid Seixeiro Show. Powered by Sick Media, the sickest Toronto sports show. Now, here's your host, Sid.
What's up? It's Sid. We're live on X. We're live on YouTube. It is Wednesday, March the 4th. We are, 51 hours away from NHL Trade Deadline Bonanza 2026. And, the one thing that hasn't happened on this show since we started with Sick Medium, and we're having a good time. We're not even a month in. What was our first show? It was February 9th, correct? It was after the Super Bowl. We're not even a month into this. And we've become the biggest show in the country, in our minds. Statistically, we'll get there too. But the one thing that has not happened to Azo, myself, all of you in the chat, great to see everyone. We haven't had the breaking news story during this window. Hasn't happened. Kira writes, I think Sid and Drake are tight. That is not the breaking news story I'm talking about. And for the record, we haven't spoken in years. Maybe ever. But obviously, the deadline is front and center here, and the Leafs haven't done anything. The Leafs actually haven't made a trade since July of last year. That's not a joke. The Toronto Maple Leafs have not made a trade since July of last year. They're in Jersey tonight. They're at MSG tomorrow night. I can tell you two things about the Leafs right now. One, no weird lineup decisions coming off the Philadelphia loss a few nights ago. So McMahon playing, Scott Laughton playing. Anyone else who you think might be in trade talks, they're going to suit up tonight. So that's the first thing worth saying. The second thing broke 8 minutes before we came on air, and it's from Maple Leafs PR. They announced the following. Maple Leafs defenseman Chris Tanev underwent successful core surgery today in New York City. He's expected to fully participate in training camp in September. This was a disastrous year for Chris Tanev. He played 11 games. That's it. And the injuries he had just were too much for a 36-year-old who's blocked as many shots as he has. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Maybe someone in the chat can pull it up too. I'm guessing throughout his career, Chris Tanev has blocked more shots than anyone in the league. I'm guessing that. It's a slightly educated guess, but I think I'm 80% accurate on that. Fred in the chat, we had the same problem with Tanev in Vancouver. Don't get me wrong, love the guy and the way he plays, but unfortunately he's always injured, which doesn't really help the team he's playing for. Two things right now on Chris Tanev, because I don't want this to get out of control. I respect the guy who puts his body in harm's way the way that man has. A lot. Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, Dallas for a cup of coffee. I don't care where he's been. I have a lot of respect for Chris Tanev. Now, he was also signed to a ridiculous contract by Brad Treliving. Ridiculous. In fact, only 4 more years to go. Only 4 years left on this contract. He's having core surgery at the age of 36. He has 4 years left on the contract. Not mad at Chris. Every time I watch Chris Tanev play, he gives everything for his team. How many times in the playoffs last year did a forward on Ottawa or Florida just barrel down on Tanev and hit him, and not one Leaf forward did a thing about it? How many times did you see that? Not just Tanev, like all the Leafs defensemen, but Tanev was kind of like a magnet for it because he had the puck a lot because he's responsible and he's trying to get it out. I don't want to make this a rip Chris Tanev day. I will not allow it. You want to make this a rip Treliving day? Good seats are still available. But Chris Tanev, core surgery today in New York. A disastrous campaign has come to an end. The Leafs better pray. If they're not tearing it down, they better pray he comes back next year ready. Because that blue line without him is a joke. Is an absolute. There's 3 guys out there playing like they got core injuries right now. They're playing like it. So I will have none of the Chris Tanev slander here today. Love that player. I love that player. No one at his age would have said no to that contract with the Leafs. Not his fault. A. Henderson in the chat. Oh, doing the math for us. Thank you for doing work in the chat on the Tanev block numbers. 1,758 blocks for Tanev over 15 years. My goodness. William Nylander, 4. 4 blocks. Chris Tanev, what was that number again, Azo? I just read it. 1,758. Woo! Nothing but respect for Chris Tanev. Steve in the chat. We have a different number. 1,856 career blocks in 878 games. Now, Steve might be combining playoffs and regular season. Whatever. We got our windows, and I appreciate. I was kidding. I didn't expect you guys to do the work, but thank you. Thank you for doing this in the chat live on YouTube and X. No, but we got to utilize this way more. I like this. This is great. Appreciate it, guys. So that's the big news to start. Tanev gone for the year, what's left of it, as he should be. And I don't know what the future holds for him. He's signed through the age of 40. I don't know. Now, listen, you can LTIR him. Done. Frees up the 4.5 mil. I don't know what you're going to use it for, but it frees up the 4.5 mil. No problem. There's also a chance for a buyout. There's also a chance you trade a guy like Tanev to another team and they snatch him for the space. There's still a few teams around the league kind of doing that. I don't know. Not as many as there used to be, but they exist. Did you hear Azzo's phone there? It's getting busy. Trade deadline, man. It's fast approaching. I just want to wish Chris Tanev all the best because I'm a fan. My guy in the chat, welcome to Robida Island. For those who don't know what Robida Island is, Stefan Robida in the Lou Lamoriello era, I believe, was one of the first people ever sent to LTIR Island and just said, "You're going. Get out of here." Robida Island is still one of my favorite Leaf references of all time. Craig Berube just told the assembled media in New Jersey ahead of tonight's game between the Leafs and Devils that Berube does expect Tanev to be ready for camp. Is Berube the coach? I don't know. I love it when a guy who has just been awful is like, yeah, we're looking at next year. Bud, you're looking at a cab home. You're looking at Gerard Gallant in Carolina. See ya. Incredible. So that's big. That's significant. Aman in the chat, Tanev, yet another mistake. Yeah, well, I mean, you can look at it that way. Tanev in the playoffs played pretty well for them. There's no doubt. And they went in all in, obviously, last year. I don't know if you noticed. They went all in last year. They went all in. So now the feeling is, will they go the other way? And with the deadline now 2 days away, I saw a quote yesterday that kind of made me really nervous. I wasn't shocked by it, but to hear someone plugged in say it is like, oh boy. And it was Chris Johnston of The Athletic and TSN. And Chris basically said the following about what the market is like for the Toronto Maple Leafs. By the way, the Leafs, after action last night, they're 9 points out of a playoff spot. Done. They were done at 7. They were done at 6. They're done now. Chris Johnson said this about the Leafs' chances of acquiring a first rounder over the next 48 plus hours. Quote, I can tell you from conversations even I've had as recent as this morning, there's some skepticism out there. The Leafs are even going to be able to get a first round pick for any of their players. End quote. A. Henderson in the chat. Thanks, CJ. Please keep that to yourself. Now we're really sunk. Don't get mad at insiders and know stuff. I felt the need off the front of the show to try and do one thing for any Leaf fan who's listening or watching. And that reality is pretty simple. You need to come to grips with a world where the Leafs don't come close to getting a first rounder between now and Friday. That's the deal. Can Treliving turn this around? And if he gets a couple, Treliving should be given an extension. And I'm not kidding, based on the lifting that has to be done here. If he can get 2 firsts, I don't care if they're 25th. I don't care if they're 24th. If he gets 2 back, that's a hell of a job. That's a lot of good work done. But I look at this Leaf roster and I'm like, they're not sitting anyone tonight. Like Tyler Myers has been sitting games. Tyler Myers is like a minus 40. I don't know what the number is, but the Canucks are like, we can't play Myers. Might get hurt. The Leafs are playing everybody. Everyone's playing. Aside from Nick Robertson and I forget who else was sitting. But the Leafs aren't doing that tonight. We're 2 days out. And on top of that, there's something probably going on inside the Leafs organization and something being fed up to Ed Rogers and Tony Staffieri that's pretty serious. And Leaf fans need to really come to grips with that too. And that's this reality. The head coach is trying to keep his job. He's been awful. And he's telling people, I've dealt with way too many injuries. The GM, who's trying to keep his job, is telling people we've had way too many injuries. And the president of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, Keith Pelly, has never done this before. This ain't golf. This is a professional hockey team in Toronto with a hard cap. Any mistake this team has made in the last 3, 4, 5 years, they got it carried around like luggage because that's the punishment. So on one hand, I know and you know and they know what has to happen. I have never seen a team this ambitious with so few assets in my life. It's incredible. But you have 3 guys on the other side of that who do not care about that, but they care about their jobs. You need to be prepared for the internal corporate structure winning out here, whereas it's someone else's problem. That's corporate. Not my fault. Guys, not my fault. I think there is a not my fault knife fight going on inside MLSE right now. And never mind the fact you might not be able to get a first rounder between now and Friday. There is genuine pitching of the idea that this is a fluke and they'll be great next year. They'll be great. By great, I mean just like being in the playoffs. That's what I mean by great. Leaf, I could be wrong on all of this, but it's tough for me to sit here and admit that with a straight face when I've been right about the previous 9 years. I will spike this football anytime I feel like it. And I got the receipts to show it. But Leaf fans, you need to be prepared for a very quiet Friday. I'm stunned they're not sitting guys tonight. They're nowhere close to making a deal. They're nowhere close. And you need to wrap your head around it. Because it's not about winning and it's not about the future with the Leafs. At that level, 3 guys are just trying to keep their seat for next year. Technically 2. Pelly's not going anywhere. It's really 2. And that mentality might win out. Now, you can argue, did Mark Shapiro just do the same thing with Ed Rogers and Tony Staffieri a couple of years ago? Yeah, different game in baseball. Luxury tax. You're not screwed with the cap. If you want to spend $15 million on Scherzer with a bad thumb, you can. There's no real repercussions. Although that might change in baseball too in 18 months. In the NHL, you cannot run from your mistakes like that. You cannot run. And this organization needs to be very honest with itself. And I think there are forces in the organization that just want to make sure they're at the next blue-white gala. I hope I'm wrong. I haven't been wrong a lot with this team, but I hope I'm wrong. We got a lot going on here. We have a lot going on here. Jack writes, I would take the keys away from Treliving immediately. Dude, take the keys away. He just hopped on the 400 eastbound, just past Agincourt, and he is racing towards Kingston. Take the keys away. He's going to hit the gas. How is Treliving expected to unwind this if he's the one who caused 80% of it? I don't know the answer to that question. A. Henderson in the chat. Trading Matthews now makes more and more sense. Oh, boy. The downward trend in performance, velocity, etc., major concern. Trade him now while he's still the golden boy. And Amon in the chat. Even Berube got injured this year. It's true. Even Berube got injured. Now, in terms of getting picks back, which is what this team desperately needs, I did see something yesterday that gave me some hope. Not a ton, but some hope. And it's the deal Minnesota made with Nashville. In case you missed this, fourth liner Michael McCarron. He goes to Minnesota, from Nashville, second round pick in 2028. Now, Michael McCarron is just a bigger Scott Laughton. They're both fourth liners. They're both muckers. But Michael McCarron's huge. He's a big, big guy. And the argument I'm hearing is, okay, you got a second rounder for Michael McCarron. The Leafs got to get at least that for Laughton. If Michael McCarron's getting a second rounder, they got to get at least a first for Bobby McMahon. If Michael McCarron's getting a second rounder, they got to get at least a first for Brandon Carlo. Maybe a first and 2 seconds for OEL. Here's the problem with that theory. Bill Guerin is nuts. And what he deems the market to be in a year where he's just letting it fly is not reflective, I think, of the rest of the league. I don't think that's reflective. Bill Guerin does not represent anything other than a gold medal. And I do give him credit for that. He got a gold medal. I ripped him for that team selection. Got a gold medal. But I do not believe Guerin is the tone setter in terms of what the market is. Oh, and we have potential, according to Darren Dreger, Tyler Myers maybe to Dallas. All right. Good thing Tyler Myers sat. I don't know. Tyler Myers doesn't scream Dallas star to me. I mean, it's worth a shot. We'll see what they gave up, but we'll go from there. Wacky in the chat writes, Treliving is doing his job. I'm not sure what that means. Because his job right now is to try and unwind some stuff. Brad Treliving just had the worst trade deadline I've ever seen last year. Like that, usually you have to wait years to say that. We can say that now about that last Leafs trade deadline. We can say it now. So I guess what I'm trying to tell everyone here is really keep the expectations low for the Leafs between now and 3 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Because what you think of this team and what people who are trying to keep their job are selling this team as are not the same thing. Very, very different conversations. And there's the rub. That's the problem. We'll see how this goes. Crooner in the chat. If you fire Treliving, sorry, the chat's moving here. If you fire Treliving, the next guy has a huge mess to deal with. Correct. But he's not married to the mess. Married to the mess and looking at the mess with fresh eyes are two different things. Sometimes the fresh eyes are needed. And personally, I would like Pelly to just come out and say who he wants his coach and GM to be. Because Pelly's acting like the president of the Leafs. Let's cut the BS. I would like to see who his people are. Because I don't know if this is it. Last year was a disaster at the deadline. That was a disaster. Don't tell me game 5, 6, 7, Florida, they got close. I don't want to hear it. Disaster. Just don't expect a ton. I'd like to be wrong on that. I'm not wrong often about this team. It's a curse, not a blessing. Jeff has a party. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon.
Where do you want?
Shirt, by the way, you're looking good.
I'm
today.
wearing a little green today.
You are.
This is. Did you know green is the most sensitive color to the eye?
Really?
Yeah. So this is the most sensitive you'll ever see me. I am generally not a sensitive person,
Right.
but I will go down that road
Well, it's
today.
good to see we're starting that way. Here we go.
Forgive me if I'm missing some chats here.
No, there's a lot.
It's been racing. I don't know if the Tanev news kind of got people going, or I don't know what.
Who was skating during the Olympic break, right?
I heard but I don't even know what that means.
Well, okay, so for me it means they're finally giving up on the season. Because they were holding out to see if he could return or if he couldn't. Him getting surgery, and I don't know why it's today. Why today? Is it because the Panthers have finally given in, but they're close. In the towel?
They're close to New York. Yeah. I think that's the point. I think they're close to New York. It's like we'll have a morning skate in New Jersey, and Tanev, go fix your core in New York. We're here.
Timing seems weird to me.
The timing seems perfect. They took him down to New York with the private charter. They got it done.
Anyway.
Sorry, you think they still thought they had a shot because Tanev didn't have surgery?
No, they were holding out.
I think one is completely
and now he's not going to be ready for
camp
camp next year? You kidding me?
Hold on. Berube said, who clearly is going to be the coach next year.
Clearly.
Berube said he will be ready for camp.
Like for a guy like that, you want him to have surgery as soon as possible, no?
Well, listen, apparently Tanev, listen, I'll defend the Leafs from this front. It sounded like the biggest obstacle for Tanev to get surgery was Tanev.
Right. But because he wanted to come back
Tanev, if you've seen the way Tanev plays, it's no surprise. When it comes to stuff like this, he's a pain in the ass because the guy wants to go out there with his teammates. Heaven forbid.
Well, you got 4 years left on your deal. You don't want to come back for a full season next year? Come on.
But what was the race to get him back? Why are you so upset that he got? I feel like you're upset he got surgery
for next year.
Hold on. Okay. Berube said.
Don't tell me to hold on.
Berube said. I'm not making the quote. Berube said he's going to be back.
Oh, okay.
So you don't trust Berube?
No.
Neither do I. With that said,
Santander written all over.
By the way, we're going to talk about Anthony Santander later.
Yeah, so we'll get into that.
Maybe promise.
We'll save it for there.
Moob in the chat. Tanev is like old school Scott Stevens.
Yeah, I would put him all the way up there.
Yeah, just without the Hall of Fame resume, but sure. But I don't want to. Again, I want to really fight back hard on this Chris Tanev hate I'm seeing. Love Chris Tanev.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you have any misgivings,
it's not his fault. You nailed it. It's not his fault. He signed that contract. I would sign it too.
The guy's dying to get back out. You're right. He should have had surgery 3 months ago. He's dying to get back out there. Dying to get back out there.
And how many years did we hear at the trade deadline that they should go get one of the Tanevs? That's what this team needed. Come on,
Chris Tanev in. The season and 11 games that he played or whatever it is showed more heart than William Nylander has ever showed for this organization. Do not rip on Chris Tanev. I will not have it today. You want some more Berube stuff though?
Sure. I got other stuff, but yeah, go ahead.
I want to get this one out there.
Okay.
Because then this is like you and I are going to stay here for another hour. Yeah. Oh, I'm wrangling you up. Nikki in the chat. I'm assuming Tanev, one of the only players with heart. Here. Berube says, this is according to Luke Fox of Sportsnet on Twitter. Berube says roster management, re saving trade assets from potential injury, won't affect Maple Leafs lineup tonight in New Jersey. Could be a different story tomorrow. What's the difference? Sit him tonight. Are you okay? Someone takes a run at Bobby McMahon. Here I am yelling about I'm scared that Bobby McMahon's going to get hurt. This is what my life has developed into. But tomorrow's fine. We'll sit guys tomorrow. Tonight, let him go. Hey, they're only 9 points out of a playoff spot, Azzo. Let them all play tonight. Yeah. You know what? Throw Tanev back out there after surgery tonight. Why not? Why don't we throw Tanev back out there after surgery? These guys have lost their minds, man. Idiots. They've lost their minds. All of them.
I can't believe a team this far out of the playoffs is getting us this worked up.
That's the quote. That's what gets me going. That BS. That haphazard stuff. A big game tonight against New Jersey. There's going to be 12 people in the crowd. Jersey doesn't want to be there. Sheldon Keefe's forgotten he coached the Leafs. He has so many problems down there. But no, we got to make sure all trade assets have to play tonight in New Jersey. Tomorrow against the Rangers, though, different story.
Because now they have trade assets, right? Anyway.
I don't think they have trade assets.
No, I don't either.
Sorry. There's 9 things here.
So, yeah.
Where do you want to start?
I don't know. The McCarron thing did give me some hope, but then again, look at the teams you're trading with. That second rounder is basically a third rounder.
It's a late second, right?
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
but you know what's exciting me about the trade deadline? That the Wild and the Stars are making moves. Like those three teams, the Avalanche, the Stars, and the Wild, might just start trying to outdo each other. We might be busy with those three teams alone.
You know how once in a while you see a story pop up about European soccer teams wanting to create their own Champions League, and it's usually like Real Madrid and Juventus, and then it fizzles because UEFA just gives more money to the real Champions League. I feel like one day Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota might go, we're going to start our own league. We're just going to start our own league. The Super Central, and just have it 3 teams, 82 games, and figure it out for yourselves. Because that's what's going on right now in the National Hockey League. It's a 3-team. The Oilers are irrelevant in the Western Conference. Mm-hmm. It's a 3-team race, and whoever comes out of that division.
If they're left standing.
Left standing.
Yeah.
And you know what? I credit the Jets for what they did last year in that division. Now, I understand Minnesota are way better this year than they were last year, but that is a nuts division.
It is.
And they're not done. Like, they're not done at all.
I mean, that's why I almost feel bad for the Oilers, because getting through the Western Conference left them in a bad spot for the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, had a much harder time than the Panthers the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's a really impressive division, the Central. No doubt about it. So, yes or no, do you believe, because I'm now at a 0 on this, do you think the Leafs are going to do what's necessary, however you define what's necessary, between now and Friday's trade deadline?
Well, I think they're committed to doing what they think is right, but will they get what they need or what they want? No.
Because they do have to, like, this is now...
I think they should have jumped the market a long time ago.
Well, bingo. And again, it's an organization. Like, let's move Robert Thomas up here. Let's talk about Robert Thomas, because there's been a lot of discussion about what St. Louis are doing with this 26-year-old who
the Leafs were apparently interested in.
Who the Leafs were interested in, a second-line center. If you give it 2 years, it could be a first-line center.
26?
26 years old, 5 years left on the contract, $8.1 million against the cap. And all I kept hearing for the last week was, and for the record, the trade speculation with Thomas and the Sabres has cooled a bit. Not to say they're not talking, but it's cooled a bit.
But that came out yesterday. It was
yes.
Getting pushed through or whatever.
Yes. But the one thing I kept hearing was, what is it about this player that the Blues know that no one else knows? And the conspiracy theorist side of me is like, oh yeah, what's going on with Robert Thomas? What's the deal? And the more I thought about it, I went, I understand why people in Toronto don't get this, because there's a word being used that we're not at all familiar with. It's called proactive. People in Toronto do not get the Robert Thomas thing in St. Louis because we don't know what the word proactive means. Proactive is when you get ahead of something. The Leafs are playing all their players tonight. They have no idea what that word means. None. They're not close at all to making a trade based on that. Although they're thinking about it for tomorrow. Typical Leafs. The St. Louis Blues have done this thing. Let me explain it to Toronto hockey fans. The St. Louis Blues are doing this thing with Robert Thomas where they feel he has a foot out the door. He's young. He's cheap. And he has the most possible value right now. Right now. And you are an organization in St. Louis that's moving on. I think Alex Steen, who's going to be the new GM in that town, who Leaf fans also know a little about, maybe Alex Steen doesn't think he's a future guy for him. You can get 4 legitimate assets for this kid right now. The Sabres sounds like they were really close yesterday to doing it. Being proactive is a alien concept in the Toronto hockey market. So I understand why people wouldn't understand it. But other teams understand it. And other teams get out in front of stuff. That's what the Robert Thomas story is. He's a very good young player. He's 26. If you're going to cash in on that, do it now. Or you can let Marner walk for nothing. You can let Marner walk for nothing. It's your choice. You can do that.
Good timely sip right there.
I got to use my sips a bit more.
You know.
Michael in the chat, where's Lee Stempniak at? I just like a good Lee Stempniak comment. Nick in the chat, keep Berube as coach. These players can't stand him. They're more likely to waive their no movement clauses. Oh, that's a theory.
Yeah.
Keep Berube and piss off Morgan Riley enough where he finally goes, here we go. Let's go. You wanted to bring up Morgan Riley, didn't you?
A little bit, because somebody who threw it out there, I can't remember. Was it Craig Button, I think, who said maybe at this point Morgan, and I've said this, like at what point does he take the Seth Jones route and start like negotiating his own way out, where he brings it up to the team instead of waiting for Treliving to come to him? Could he go to him and like, hey, yeah, maybe we should work on finding a good trade partner for me? Because I think Morgan Riley would have some years left. No, like if you move him down into a lower pairing, he could still play, couldn't he?
I mean, there's a lot of years left. Morgan also has a full no trade until the last 2 years of the deal.
Right.
And then it turns into a modified no trade.
But wouldn't you want to get ahead of that and maybe get it? Like,
well, but again, if I were a GM in this league, I would tell if any team's going to hire me, I'm like, I will take this job. I'm not giving out a single no movement in my life. If you can't handle that, then hire someone else. Because this stuff is killing you. Morgan Riley's no movement is killing the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it's a solid one until the end of the deal. I just don't think he wants to go. I think there's a lot of comfortable Leafs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players on this roster. I shouldn't say a lot. There's certain players on this roster who are very comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's also not helping you. So, Azzo, let's go. Let's play a game. And let's play a game with the chat. Let's play first rounder or not with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I'm going to put a name out there. You tell me if it's from the Leafs roster right now, who playing tonight, full team playing in New Jersey tonight, because of course you would.
Wait, is Easton County even playing?
He is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's playing fourth line.
Is he a trade asset?
You never know.
Yeah, apparently.
You never know. He's the next Verhaeghe. So I'm going to give you a name. Okay. Can the Leafs, ahead of this deadline, in theory, get a first rounder for this player? Okay, here we go. Bobby McMahon. First rounder or not?
Since McCarron went for a second and he's only got 5 goals, I'm leaning towards no, but maybe.
I say no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I say no.
But the McCarron thing is pretty interesting, that you get a second rounder for a guy who has 5 goals and 7 assists.
But again, Bill Guerin's kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's be honest.
So why wasn't he on the phone with Bill Guerin shopping?
You know what? Crazy notion. Maybe someone didn't like Scott Lawton enough. Because I know Leaf fans that bring this up all the time are like, well, our players are great. Well,
not really.
That's your opinion.
Yeah.
That's your opinion of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Because you hear them talk sometimes. Who knows? Yeah, so I lean towards no.
Okay.
I think it would be a surprise if they got a first rounder for him.
Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Multiple.
If the Leafs traded William Nylander between now and Friday, what would you get?
2 first rounders and a prospect?
I think you do pretty well.
Yeah. 4 assets, I'd say. Actually, 4. Maybe 2 prospects, 2 first rounders.
Now, he's not a center. He's not Robert Thomas, right, but he's 29 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm curious why the Nylander discussion isn't like prevalent. But again, this is not an organization that would go down the road of looking at a young player and saying, we're not going to win a cup with you, so we have to trade you.
Which they should. But
the Leafs are not going to do that.
Isn't it clear now to everybody, you can't win with this group?
It's clear to you. It's clear to me.
It's clear to a lot of people, I heard.
It's clear to a lot of people here.
I heard Luke Fox say it this morning. Like, man, I don't know.
Like Dan in the chat, trading Nylander would be a huge upgrade for morale in the room. I can't speak to the morale in the room. I can speak to the eyes morale of fans.
You know what's annoying to me, though? Nylander always becomes that's an off-season trade.
Why?
Yeah. Again, you have 3 hungry teams. I'd be on the phone with Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota and saying, here.
Now, the only thing that kills us now is the Leafs are they're gonna have to eat. There's 6 years left on his contract. They got to eat some money. It's Elias Pettersson with a better player in Nylander. It's the problem.
What's the famous words? The salary cap's going up.
Yeah, and the Leafs love them some salary cap going up. They love it.
Man, if you get rid of Willie, like, what's this team look like?
I'm just saying, I'm stunned at how little that's out there. I want to start it. William Nylander is not winning a cup in this city. He flipped the fans the bird not that long ago. I don't think he's a serious person.
No.
And I don't think he's winning a cup here. So move on it.
And he looks like he's getting fed up of it too.
It's best for all. See,
that's the thing.
The point you just raised is the biggest one. I think it's best for both parties. Can be made. That argument can be made for 4-5 guys on this roster. Austin, I'm not touching. Everyone else is fair game. Mm-hmm. Matthew Nyes, can you get a first rounder for Matthew Nyes?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Really?
I think so. You don't think so? I mean, he is having a very down year, but
he looks as slow as anybody.
Yeah. That's
he's been banged up.
Teams always bank on him being good again.
He's been banged up.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of yeses on Nyes here. You can get a first rounder.
Though, again,
probably
season trade.
For age, I think you're right. Yes. I'll take it back. I'll forget what I've seen this year and act like another GM has as well and say you can get a first rounder for Nyes. John Tavares at 35 with 3 years left on the contract.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say a hard no on that. And you never know. He might one day get 90 points in the season.
Maybe.
You never know. He's never done that. Max Domi.
No.
2 years left on the contract. I can't believe there's 2 years left. Oh my God. There's 2 years left on Max's deal.
No movement.
Oh yes, and there's the partial no move. That's outrageous. I'm going to say no. You say no?
No. Of course. Come
on. You know who's eligible? I don't know if he's eligible for UF. No, he's going to be a restricted free agent. Michelli.
Oh,
Matthias Michelli. You can't get a first round for Michelli.
No, come on.
Can't get a pack of gum for Michelli.
Come on, man. No, you could get. I don't know.
No, I don't think you can. Here's the interesting one. With a year left on his deal, Nick Waugh.
I don't think you get a first.
I
mean, maybe. Again, the McCarron thing, maybe. Yeah, that gave me some hope yesterday, but automatically my thought would be no. But could you get a second and a prospect?
I would take right now, if I'm the Leafs, and I'm not kidding, if you second and a prospect me, I'm a happy person. If they can second and a prospect their way back to some level of respectability in terms of the assets, I think you can. Firsts, I don't see it.
Or somebody just threw in the chat, second and a fifth?
For Waugh?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
If the Leafs are offered a deal with 2 picks in it, slam the button.
Because what is it?
Slam it.
4 picks in the next 10 rounds of the NHL draft. Sorry.
Oh, the Leafs. It's something outrageous like that. It's outrageous.
So that's this entire draft, and then the first 3 rounds of the next round.
The Leafs have 1 pick in the first 4 rounds this year, and 2 in the first 4 rounds next year. No firsts in either. It's outrageous. It's outrageous what they have or what they don't have.
So you're taking anything you can get.
But Nick Waugh is also interesting in that he's won a cup in a Western Conference before.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that place a little bit. I think Nick Waugh's maybe the most enticing guy. I think. And he's been a good soldier this year.
I'm telling you, he's going to be the first guy moved.
He's been a good soldier this year. He also hasn't been great.
Yeah.
I don't want to absolve Nick Waugh. But
okay, so
I think you can get a second in something else.
At some point, we got to give these guys a little bit. The way they're moved up and down the lineup, like, how do you get comfortable? Like, does that have something to do with how well or how not well they've been playing, or how they're hot at times?
Oh, how Berube's a terrible coach this season. Yes.
Like the lines just at times haven't made sense.
Dark Angel in the chat. Michelli for a watch battery for Sid.
I'll take it. I'll make that deal. Then I can ask him what time it is.
I would contemplate it.
Yeah.
I would contemplate it. Dakota Joshua, no chance.
No.
He has 2. You know he has 2 years left on this contract.
Really? Yeah.
Dakota Joshua has 2 years left on the deal at 3.2.
Treliving was dedicated to him.
Steven Lorentz has 2 years left on his deal. Can you get a first rounder for Steven Lorentz? Let's say no.
God.
Let's say no. One of the biggest guys on the ice. I've seen 3 hits all year. Yes.
Is he still playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Scott Lawton. Can you get a first rounder for Scott Lawton?
No.
Keep in mind, you traded a first rounder for Scott Lawton and Grebenkin.
Yeah.
No.
Unless the team really likes him and feels he's a difference maker. See, Lawton might be the guy you hold on till right at the deadline, and maybe a team gets desperate and says he can push them over the edge.
No.
Just like the Leafs, just like what happened with the Leafs. But I'm going to say no.
Easton Cowan. Can you get a first rounder for Easton Cowan?
No.
I think teams would think about it.
Yeah.
If it's got to be a package of like other stuff.
Again, I think they'd be more willing to give up 2 different picks or a pick and a prospect and a first rounder.
Potentially.
Which I think you like, that's not bad.
No, it's
if you
not.
can get a second and a good prospect,
It's not.
I'd be okay with that.
Yep, I agree.
Because then you're not only just replacing the prospect you have, but you're getting a pick on top of it.
Can you get a first rounder from Morgan Riley?
Stop making me laugh. No.
You might have to give the first rounder in the suite.
Yes. Who'd they do that with? The goalie, where he shipped the goalie out?
No,
Dubas.
it wasn't a goalie. It was Marlowe. It was Patrick Marlowe.
Oh, right.
They had to sweeten it to Carolina.
That's how they were giving away first.
Thanks, Brendan. Thanks, Brendan. Incredible. Brandon Carlo.
No.
Would you trade a first rounder if you're another team for Brandon Carlo?
I think if you're a team trying to capitalize on Carlo, you're trying to buy low on him, so you wouldn't give up.
He signed for next year at 3.4.
Yeah.
He signed. I think a team may think about it on Carlo. I think Carlo has more value league-wide than we think.
If you're a good negotiator, you might be able to.
If you need a right-shot defenseman, I mean...
Which there is some rumors of guys wanting and needing, right?
For sure.
Because OEL can play both sides, which is why he's become valuable.
This gets even better. The Patrick Marlowe first-round pick trade. John in the chat. Carolina also drafted Seth Jarvis with that pick.
Come on.
That's just unnecessary, shattering information.
I just got chills.
Why, John? Why you doing everyone like that in the chat?
My.
That's unfair, John. Unfair.
TM Golf Club thinks absolutely first rounder for Carlo.
I think Carlo's the sneaky first round potential here. I do.
But again, you've paired him with Morgan Riley, and he hasn't looked great.
No, hasn't looked great.
I think teams, if they're going after Carlo, they're trying to buy low on him.
You know what's funny? Azzo and I before the show said, you know what? Let's go a little shorter today. It's 12:46 p.m. Eastern. We are still on the Leafs, and we have a lot to go.
We do.
Simone Benoit, first rounder, yes or no? No. He's been terrible. Jake McCabe, first rounder, yes or no?
No.
Do you know how many years
I was going to ask you that.
Jake McCabe has 4 years left on this contract.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. Jake McCabe, who can barely stand out there, has 4 years left on the contract. What on earth are they doing? What are they doing?
They were committed to this decor, man. They were.
Well, now they're committed to a depression core.
And that's been good for them. Like, I feel that's what kills me. I feel bad ripping on these guys because McCabe's been really good for them at times.
But he's fallen off hard.
No, he has.
Like shockingly hard. McCabe doesn't know what's happening out there.
Let's look at the fall off from last year to this year. Like,
man. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 2 years left. I think he can get a first and 2 seconds
if he was willing for
I
it.
really believe that.
Yeah.
That guy, he's won a cup. He's changed his career. He's been their best player. It's not even close who the best player on the Toronto Maple Leafs has been this year. It's been Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can get stuff. And I'm stunned earlier this week when he said he wasn't even approached by the organization. I'm telling you, the organization thinks this is fine. They are selling this like this is a fluky year. I'm telling you. I'm freaking out over this.
You think they need a guy like OEL to put it back on the rails next year?
You do need guys to play next year.
But that's how they're looking at it. He could be important to this team getting it back on track.
I think you're right.
And again, once these guys make these moves, like the Carlo thing, is Treliving ready to flip him again? Or does he want to hold on to him? No, he can be better than he was this year. Like, how much is in Treliving to prove that this wasn't a bad move?
It better be in there or you're fired. It has, like, again, this was kind of my point off the front. Your intuition watching the Toronto Maple Leafs, I know a lot of you have been doing this your whole life. Your intuition watching this team and someone trying to keep their job could not be more opposed. Cannot be more opposed. And that is what could bury them here to the point where they can't recover. I just feel this is a really dangerous spot they're in because you cannot put your head in the sand on this. You cannot ignore how they've looked this year. You can't. Tanev injury, yes, not good. What else was that bad? You missed Nylander for a little stretch. You missed Matthews for a little stretch. Nice. They came back. Like, it's not the worst injury situation I've ever seen.
And somebody said McCabe and Tanev were one of the best defensive pairings in the league last year, or in the playoffs. They were good too.
They held their own, man, and they got buried every time back there. Someone hit them every time.
Well, never mind. You're talking about Tanev. The whole defensive core had like block shots galore last year.
You're right. Nick Robertson, can he get a first round pick? Can Nick Robertson get a first-round pick?
RFA or UFA?
He's RFA coming up. He's got one more RFA year, I believe.
Yeah. I'd say no. Second. There's a lot of seconds here, I think.
Can I just say personally, never mind what you get. If you have like a third contract fight with Nick Robertson, that's ridiculous.
And then not play him regularly.
Just trade him.
Yeah.
Just what are you doing?
Exactly.
You're gonna have a third fight with this guy in the off season? Like, well, that's insane.
If you didn't play him this year, like all the time, then let him go.
Nuts.
It's true.
Absolutely nuts. M Bell in the chat. Sorry, M Bell, it's racing. I have to touch the comment now so we can see it. I appreciate all the comments. Keep them coming. But if I miss it, sorry. M Bell in the chat. If you are trading everyone for picks, you miss playoffs for 5 years or longer. Yep. And this team, if they're not touched, misses playoffs for guess what? Guess what? Pick the time frame. 5 years or longer. So you either try and reverse that and get ahead of it a little bit, or sit in it, and then you're the Leafs of the '80s. It's up to you.
Never do.
Troy,
can I add some levity to this?
Yes.
So Edward here says, send Carlo to the Jays. Always good for a no-hitter.
Oh. No.
Poor guy.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Kenny when he's tripping over Morgan.
That's pretty good. Oh, here's one. This is from WWE fan. Sid just got 2 tickets to the Leafs-Canes game in a few weeks for $150 apiece, including fees. Only time now to afford going to a game. That is a positive.
It is.
If you want to go down there, take the kids, enjoy an evening. Again, by the end of that Flyers game behind Stolarz in the shootout, people had left. People were gone. So now again, the $150 is not including parking and food and concessions. And if you want to buy your kid something at the store, good luck, because that's half a mortgage. Like, there's a lot going on when you go to a Leaf game.
Without a doubt.
There's a lot.
I mean, you get to watch that kind of hockey, but yeah, I guess it depends who they're playing too. The Hurricanes, not bad.
For sure. Troy Stetcher, can he get a first-round pick?
Could you imagine? That would be amazing for what they got.
I like him, but he's had
not a first round.
He's had a horrific return from the break.
I mean,
like a horrific
you see why he
return.
was on waivers, yeah.
Calle Yarncroke.
But again, sorry, to go back to Stetcher, the more you have to play a guy who's picking up top minutes on this team now, he's going to get exposed.
And eventually he did. But he did himself a lot of good for most of that stretch, Troy Stetcher. Like the last 4 games, awful.
Because that's the problem this team's falling into, especially before the deadline. The minutes some of these guys are playing is exposing them.
Very true. So I'm not even going to ask you about Yarncroke.
He has no movement, some kind of no movement.
Hold on.
We went over this already. He has a partial no movement as well.
If Yarncroke, oh my God, you're right. He has a modified no move. 10-team no trade list.
It's a third of the league, man. That's the one that always gets me. Like, you want to talk about not giving these guys? It's those third and fourth liners who have it.
He has a modified no trade list. He's Calle Yarncroke. He's a nobody. He's an absolute nobody. And the Leafs gave him this ridiculous contract back in 2016-17. Like, just insane.
You know what's funny? I heard 26 teams in the league have a no trade clause for Yarncroke. They don't want him. So
sorry. The Leafs didn't give him that contract.
No, but they took it on.
They signed him. Oh, he was in Calgary, right? Calgary got him for the stretch run from Seattle, and he was terrible. Yarncroke was terrible in the 2022 postseason for Calgary, and the Leafs go 4-year contract. Got to get you for 4 years. Is there any other team offering that? Doesn't matter. 4-year God, the Dubas era with Shanahan was something else, eh? That was something else. Thanks, Brendan. Thanks, Brendan.
Oh, I'm not liking this exercise, by the way.
We're not
done. This isn't a fun game, man.
We're not. Hold on.
We could be getting to the most intriguing part of this.
G in the chat goes, Stolarz has a no trade. I haven't got to the goalies yet.
Yeah, but that is the most intriguing thing.
Stolarz, who just signed a contract not that long ago for the next 4 years. Oh, my God.
That's it.
He signed for 4 more years at 3.7. Can Anthony Stolarz in a market that apparently has Jordan Binnington and Sergei Bobrovsky kicking around in it. We're learning. Yeah. Can Stolarz get you a first-round pick?
I mean, for the term left.
Had a pretty good year last year when he was healthy.
How much do you believe in him, though? What is he?
I think he's in the middle of...
Like a good 1B? Like, how many teams are going to give up a first for that?
I don't think he's an 8.87 save percentage goalie, but I don't think he's as good as he was last year. I think he's like somewhere in the middle. He can play you 35 to 40 games on a good year because he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt.
But so will a team give up that for like a 1B?
I just talked myself into him not getting. Yes.
It's, again, it could be intriguing. And again, this takes a good negotiator.
Oh, well, you mean a GM? Yes. Yeah, I've heard of those.
Who couldn't protect this, even a top 10 pick for Carlo. Like it has to be top 5.
Last but not least, Joseph Woll.
Maybe.
2 years left after this, and then he's a UFA.
Yes.
He's at 3.6.
I'm going to say yes.
I think yes. I think Joseph Woll on his day is a pretty consistent player. In terms of the consistent Leafs over the last year and a half, he is up there.
Yep.
Like he's up there. And he hasn't been as injured as his reputation would suggest. Now, he did miss the start of the year for personal reasons.
But people are saying you could probably fetch a good prospect for him. Colorado Rockies in the chat here.
I still think, but at the age, how old is Joseph Woll? Joseph Woll is 27 years old. I still kind of like Joseph Woll on my team. I'm not in a hurry. Like, again, for me, the no touch list is Matthews, it's Cowan, and it's Woll.
And I'd put
and you can have. We'll talk about anybody. Yeah. I'm starting the Nylander train out of town. There's people in the media afraid of running people out of town. Nylander doesn't care if he's here or not, man. Cash in now. He held out. He was this close to being traded as a kid. And Marner, when he held out, he didn't want to be here. He didn't care about being here.
But see, again, I think that's an off-season trade, right? Because you open it up to the entire league rather than just 15, 16 teams in the playoffs.
Right. No, that's fair.
Right? So that's why I don't think that happens before Friday, but I think they definitely will examine that in the offseason.
They should.
So Chris wanted to add Hildeby to your game here. There's no chance, right?
Sorry, there's a rush on Hildeby?
No, but what if you would somebody, because the Leafs obviously don't trust them as much as they tell us.
Can I be like, I think like there's always levels to an organization's move up the mountain or down. When you're coming down, who your third goalie is not that important to me.
But if you trade one of the other ones, he becomes one of your two.
Yeah, but
eventually,
I gotta be honest. Like this Akhtyamov kid, people always talk about this kid. So,
but they used to do that with Hildeby, man.
I know.
Like that's the problem with
Hildeby has been okay for them when he's played.
Yes, I agree.
He has.
But remember, the last 2 seasons, they'd call him up when one of their often injured goalies got hurt, and they would never play him. They protected him like anything. It's like they didn't want to give him the NHL experience, and I never understood that.
So, of all the Leafs you and I just went through, in terms of would they get a first, how many did we land on where we both agreed they would get a first? Where there was
4?
Unison between us?
4.
I think so.
Well, Matthews, Willie, Nyes.
Matthews, Willie, Nyes.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Woll.
I
think Woll gets you first.
Yeah.
And Carlo.
Did
you and I agree on Carlo? Let's agree on Carlo for the sake of the game. All right, so that's where we're at.
No, actually, I said no to Carlo.
Okay. So we're not even, we didn't even agree on that.
Looking for him, they're again, I think they're trying to buy low on him. And again, the other thing you have to look at is who actually has their first this year. Because that's a limiting thing too. A lot of teams have already traded their first.
It's a valid
So
point.
the teams you're looking to trade with might not even have their first.
And there's a lot of people in the chat who are like, guys, no movement on this player, full no movement on this player. We're aware.
Yeah.
All we're saying is like play along. Would they get a first?
Which is what they need.
Let's assume the no movement's taken care of. The modified no move is taken care of. Would they get a first?
You want to take the game even farther? Does that first get you somebody who's going to play next year? Probably not.
Nope. That's not the point of this.
No, I know.
Good point.
But I'm saying, like, you're not restocking the team for next year with these firsts either.
Good point, Azzo.
Like,
that's not even part of this discussion in any way, shape, or form.
You want to go through the list again and say who's a part of the future if this team wants to win or is bound to win?
Do you find it weird that Brad Treliving hasn't spoke?
No.
A lot of GMs are talking like early in the week. If you had a chance to ask Brad Treliving a question right now.
Can I say something first?
Go ahead.
Because I think that letter, I thought maybe he was going to speak, and that letter that Pelly sent that got out with the season ticket renewal or whatever stopped it. Because then he'd have to answer a lot of things from that. Or they had
because Pelly wasn't going to answer for it. Yeah. No, that's fair. And
then they came out and the bed for 2 games in a row, just really badly.
Generally speaking, I do think if I were advising anyone in MLSE, this week is not the week to speak.
Yeah.
Save it for afterwards.
That's what's going to happen.
Treliving better get to that podium after Friday, though.
Oh, yeah. He will.
I don't want to hear that
5
garbage.
or 6 o'clock, he'll be at the podium speaking. I've worked enough of those days. He will. He'll speak at 5 or 6. He has to.
If he ducks that.
No, he won't.
If he ducks that.
We know Brad pretty well.
The knives are out.
He won't. It's common practice.
Brad's one of the best guys in front of the media I've ever seen.
Agreed.
I'm a little surprised he didn't get out there.
But that's the thing.
On the
when was the last time this team was transparent with what their aim is or what direction they're going
in? I think the other part of that, Azzo, is they genuinely don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think they genuinely, in their hearts, they know this is a joke because they've all been in the game a long time in terms of Treliving and Berube. They know full well this is garbage what has gone on in this city.
And you said at this point the knives are out. Like, who do you trust?
But now it's like I think we have to be open to the possibility that Treliving and Berube are right now kind of fighting for a job against each other next year. I don't think they're both gone. I don't think they both stay. I think someone's going to make a case. It would be crazy to fire Treliving and keep Berube because that's just a cycle of inefficient hirings that doesn't make sense.
But don't you want to bring a coach and a GM in together and have them on the same page from the beginning?
That, you know what, it is a lovely thought to do that.
Like, I think
because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, because they've always mishandled that as well.
Yes. I think the Leafs have done the right thing by shutting up this week.
Yes. But
I'm trying to figure out what the reasonings are for that.
As much as they could, because Mike's still going in front of Craig Berube every day.
I mean, but like Brad Treliving earlier this year during like the worst times had no trouble getting out in front of anyone. When they fired Mark Savard, like he went out there the next day, I think.
But at this point now, they're finishing the year, right? If they're not gone by now, they're finishing the year.
True. Oh, they're finishing the year. 100%. In terms of what happens in the future, we'll see. One more on this, and then we might move off the Leafs until something else breaks here. Mike in the chat, Doug Armstrong will be here next year. Both Treliving and Berube will be gone.
I gotta bring this up. Isn't that weird? That all this speculation about Doug Armstrong coming here next year when he's about to sell off the Blues, or we think he is. Because how many times has he done that? I don't know if he's the right guy for this too.
It's chestnut checkers. He trades Robert Thomas to the Leafs.
Right? Like, why wouldn't he?
And then he takes over.
Isn't that tampering? Like, what's going on?
Yes, it is. It's all tampering, baby. Woo!
But you know why Doug Armstrong scares me? Because how many years in St. Louis has it been like that? Are they selling? Are they not? And then they don't. Like, are we bringing another guy in that's going to do that?
Like, I have to be honest. It feels like the second they won that Stanley Cup and Brett Hull hammered was singing Gloria, Gloria. The second that happened, that team took a nosedive.
Yeah.
Like, they have been garbage, it feels like, since. I shouldn't say that.
Stuck in the middle.
They made a run to the playoffs last year. They made some ridiculous run.
Stuck in the middle.
But that's their speed. Their speed is, you guys are out of it. Really? Watch this. And last place to a Stanley Cup, they were like 7 points out on February 7th last year. February 1st, they make the playoffs. The Blues have to be like uber bad and have no one be paying attention. Then they go on a run. When anyone's paying attention to the Blues, they're like, don't feel like it.
But that's a team they feel they can be. Hey, Doug, you know what? Send Binnington over here. Can you imagine? Would you get a Binnington jersey? You would.
Jordan Binnington is the perfect Leaf because he would start all the fights.
Yeah, well,
because the Leafs need permission to start a fight. If Anthony Stolarz doesn't punch someone first, no one does anything. Anthony Stolarz is the fight whisperer.
I say give Bobrovsky a contract in the offseason for the same reason. If I'm going to watch a garbage team, I want to have a goalie that might start a fight.
Who was the guy in Karate Kid?
I trade Stolarz and Wall and bring in Bobrovsky to mentor Hildeby.
At 37?
Yeah, why not? A couple years?
Dumb. That's ridiculous.
No. And
I have never disagreed with anything
maybe
you
start
said.
Goalie fights. I need something to watch.
Sergei Bobrovsky
for 2
as
years
a Leaf.
Yes. and mentor Hildeby and ship off the other 2 goalies for
outrageous.
picks. What do you mean? Come on.
That's an outrageous.
Come on. You have Bobrovsky in the room every day to give some quotes and maybe start fights.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Apologies in the chat. We've entered the bring up Michael Pezzetta portion of the conversation. There's a lot of that going on right now. All right. So the Leafs, I can't. I'm really trying to wrap my head around the fact it's 1:05 p.m. Eastern on the Wednesday before the trade deadline. They have not made a trade since July of last year.
That's crazy.
The Leafs aren't even sitting anyone tonight that is rumored to be in discussion. I don't know what the hell's going on.
And that's crazy in 2 ways.
I have no idea what's going on.
Trying to better the team last year or in trying to sell off their guys, like getting ahead of it.
I mean, what does that mean? Getting ahead of it.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any final Leaf thoughts for now?
Just interested to see what happens before Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to make a prediction. It's 1:06 p.m. Eastern. The Leafs make a trade between now and the end of this hour while we're on air.
Ooh. Okay, that'd be interesting.
And if they don't, we never speak of it again.
You never wear that shirt again. Wait, I mean, it's a nice shirt.
Jacqueline with the most cutting comment of all. Maybe nobody wants these players. Whew. That's
the fact McCarron went.
That's heavy. Michael McCarron is like a nothing player in the league. Like
somebody said he was drafted first round by the Habs.
First round for Michael McCarron?
Yeah, I don't know.
We can check that.
Look that up.
Listen, I take back the comment. McCarron is a decent penalty kill guy. I believe Minnesota's penalty kills ranked 23rd, 24th, something like that. Like Guerin is definitely trying to fill a need. Michael McCarron was a first round pick of the Montreal Canadiens.
25th overall in 2013.
25th.
And has played, wow.
And has kind of made his bones as a
Sorry, whoever said that in the chat, thank you. Because I did not know that. And sorry,
I just think if you're going to put a guy like McCarron next to Scott Laughton and you're another GM, you take the guy who's 6'6". Sorry. All day, every day of the week. Mm-hmm. Like it's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. We have forgive me on the name, Ari Pai. Forgive me if I got that wrong. Any predictions for the Habs at the deadline? We're gonna get to the Habs here in a second. We have some audio from Tony Marinaro that we want to play for you. Because he and Eric Engels were having a conversation about prospects and trading, and it's one of the more interesting things I've heard in terms of an insider's perspective on the Habs and what the cost would be. So that's coming up. I promise you we're going to play you that clip before we end the show. You're going to want to hear it. I want to get into the Raptors, though. And last night, the Toronto Raptors, stop me if you've heard this before, lost to the New York Knicks. I believe the last time the Raptors beat the Knicks, I worked morning television. It's been a long time since the Toronto Raptors beat the Knicks. And they're now 0-4 against the Knicks this season. I believe they have one more game left, second last game of the year against the Knicks. And it's just a bully kicking sand in your face over and over and over again. And the Raptors have done a lot of good things this year. I did not expect this kind of season. But they dropped to 35-26. They play in Minnesota tomorrow night. And I believe they're now 1-12 this season versus top 5 teams. Now, top 5 teams are top 5 teams for a reason. They're good. But the Raptors are kind of in this weird space where they're beating teams they should beat, and they're having trouble with others. One of the reasons they're good this year is Brandon Ingram, who's played a lot of basketball and managed to get to an all-star game for the Raptors. And last night, he was fantastic. I think he finished with 31. I think he had 26 by the end of 3 quarters. So Brandon Ingram is the guy. So obviously they went to Ingram a lot in the 4th quarter. Just kidding. He took 2 shots. Brandon Ingram on a 31-point night against a division rival you cannot beat had 2 shots in the 4th quarter. 2. Now, I was looking for a Darko Rajakovic quote on this, but he typically said they made shots we didn't. It's becoming his laziest comment. They made shots we didn't at the end of the game. Brandon Ingram, however, had a different way to look at it. And what I like about the clip you're about to hear is that Ingram's taken on more of a leadership role, and he's not biting his tongue. So this is Brandon Ingram after the game talking about what the Raptors' biggest issue is in the fourth quarter closing games against good teams.
Made more shots than us down the stretch. I think when we look back at the tape, I think we got to figure out our fourth quarter execution, exactly what we want to go to. I think every time we play a good team, they know exactly what they want to go to in the fourth quarter, and they do it over and over again. So we just, the good thing is we're in the games, but we got to figure out how to finish the game.
When we play good teams, they know where they want to go in the fourth quarter. And the Raptors, and Darko specifically, it's like every fourth quarter is a new fourth quarter. Maybe in the fourth quarter, you've established who your person is that night. And there was no debate who it was for the Raptors last night. It was Brandon Ingram. I'm seeing Emmanuel quickly taking shots. I'm seeing Sandro Mamukelashvili take shots. I think Jamal Shed took a shot. Scotty Barnes couldn't hit the backside of a barn last night. He's taking shots. The game ended basically when it was Knicks up 2, Barnes miss, Mikal Bridges other end. That's when the game ended. Barnes was not good. And Brandon Ingram took 2 shots. Listen, man. I think there's simple things that you're not seeing from Darko, and this is one of them. This is one of them. At some point, you got to funnel down to the guy with the hot hand. It's not a complicated concept. It really isn't. And if your guys like Scotty Barnes was running a bit of that offense in the fourth quarter, Jamal Shed, like, that's their job too. Who do I need to get the ball to? Mamu? Not really. Get it to Ingram, for God's sakes. You made a trade and watch him sit there in street clothes for back into the season for a reason. Go to him. He's healthy. The basketball gods have blessed you with a healthy Brandon Ingram. I haven't seen that in 3 years. Give him the ball. It's lazy. It's ridiculous. That's when I see that stuff from Darko, it just screams small time to me. It screams small time. Let's keep everyone happy. We're a team. We're a team. We're not the Y. It's not a pickup game at the gym. It's the NBA, man. Give the ball to Ingram. On a night like that, maybe not all the nights, but last night, that's a no-brainer. I've been kicking this around a little bit. Who's more likely to be coaching next year in the city, Darko or Berube? I don't know the answer to that because stuff like that bothers me. So Darko comes up to the podium and he's asked about the fourth quarter and he just said, they made shots, we missed shots. Infuriating. So infuriating, I didn't even clip it for you. You don't have to hear it. But what I did hear that was infuriating was what he said they were missing the most last night in the fourth quarter.
CMB big time tonight. Just his ability to rebound the ball, his ability to run in transition and then provide us outlet on the baseline. He's setting really good screens, good roller. And then defensively, he's the guy that he can take up on any matchup and does a really good job with that. So he was missed tonight big time.
So just so I'm clear, you think one of the biggest issues for you last night against a Knicks team that you've now lost 12 straight against is you were missing a rookie? Colin Murray Boyles? Really? If I'm Bobby Webster, I don't want to hear that. Good teams are not that reliant on a rookie. I like Colin Murray Boyles on the court a lot. He's out with a thumb. That's why you lost? Not Brandon Ingram, 2 shots in the fourth quarter. No. We didn't have Colin Murray Boyles. Okay. I'm kicking around a new nickname for Darko. Excuse machine. I don't like it. You got your rotations wrong in the fourth quarter. You didn't take control. You try to keep everyone happy again and be the nice guy. And it bothers me because nice guys don't win a ton of games in that league. You got to be a jackass about it. And you got to look at people and say, here's who we're riding tonight. I don't care if Scotty's mad. I don't care if Quickly's mad. Emmanuel Quickly, no one is less motivated against the Knicks than Emmanuel Quickly. I don't need Quickly taking a shot. RJ had a good night last night. Quickly, I don't need to see Quickly taking a mid-range in the fourth quarter. I've seen that show. I've seen it. I'm done with it. And the reason I'm a little agitated is because I feel like they're kind of close here. Like they got a decent team with some talent. They need to play better at home, but they're not far. I don't think they're far. Darko is grabbing the handbrake constantly on this group. And we're seeing it at home in the fourth quarter all the time. He better figure it out, man. He was the cheapest option available for this Raptors franchise. That's why he got the job. There are options out there. Just clean that up in the fourth quarter, please. And I'll focus my attention somewhere else. Brandon Ingram deserved that ball a lot more, and he didn't get it, and Darko did not have a good reason for it at the end of the game. It's the NBA. Figure it out. Azzo, your thoughts on the Raptors last night?
I'm a little bit torn on this. I thought he was starting to learn his lesson on the rotations because he wasn't trying to force guys. Like guys who didn't have it, he pulled out of the game right away, and their minutes didn't go up. And to start the fourth quarter, am I not wrong to say like he did start those guys to start the fourth quarter, which was the mistake he made last time? He had a bunch of his starters in the fourth, didn't he?
But he didn't have BI. BI starting the fourth is not something he does a lot.
I thought, okay. Yeah.
Let me just double check it. Let me go on my trusty, you know what? I feel like I've changed jobs and I can say this now. I've never stopped using the Score Mobile app in my life. Can I be honest with you?
100%.
I'm on Score Mobile.
It is the best sports app.
I'm sorry.
It's true.
Force a habit. I feel like I could say that.
No, it is one of the better sports app by far. Just last night to me, man, like I can't get mad at the Raptors because they were just like, they don't have the same talent the Knicks do.
But I think they
don't have the same basketball IQ.
They were down 2.
I know.
They were down 2 with like 5 minutes to go.
Me? Yeah. Is that when the timeout came and they ran some BS play out of the timeout and then the Knicks went on a run?
Well, to me, it was the Scotty miss and then Bridges the other way.
Was that out of a timeout? Because it came out.
I can't remember.
Nothing infuriates me more than coming out of a timeout and running some BS play that gets no traction, and then the other team goes on a run the other way.
For the record, the starting five for the Raptors starting the quarter: Jacoby, Quick, RJ Barrett, Sandro Mamukelashvili, and Scotty. He just, for some reason, he doesn't. Yeah, well, I don't know what the thing with Ingram is and start the fourth.
It's because he wants him to be a closer, but to your point, then give him more than 2 shots in that quarter.
But like, I want to be fair about it. That's a Jamal Shed issue. Yeah, anyone who's running that offense needs to kind of look for him way more.
Nothing became more clear than them needing some kind of point guard, somebody who can set up the play and run it properly.
Could be worse. They were down 2, forced a turnover, then heaved it out of bounds. Yes.
Dude, the Knicks yesterday just showed they have more talent than the Raptors. They have better IQ, basketball IQ than the Raptors, and they're outcoached by the Raptors. Like, I don't know what else to put. Like, I kind of felt bad because they did try and put up a fight, and it wasn't there.
I just felt the game was there.
Okay.
Despite the fact the Raptors were second best the majority of the evening. The game was there for them. And
I mean, having guys like Brunson who just scores when he wants and a shooter like Cat and a guy with heart who has just good basketball IQ, like they're not on that level. Yet.
I would love Josh Hart on my team.
Yeah.
Love Josh Hart.
And to me, like Scotty didn't have a great night offensively because he was so tired trying to contain Brunson.
Yeah, and it's true. And what drives me nuts as well is anyone who watches basketball knows how little confidence Karl Anthony Towns normally has.
Yes.
For a player of his caliber.
Shooting well.
Because I feel like that guy's already looking ahead at the playoffs and how he's going to get roasted. That guy's going to get blamed. I don't care what the other Knicks do. He's going to get blamed. Mm-hmm. To watch him play with confidence is infuriating. And the Raptors give it to him like on a platter, walking into the hot stove lounge every time he comes into Toronto. Would you like some more confidence, Mr. Cat? Here you go. Take it. Every time he comes into MLSC. Every time.
Well, Pirtle's not a good matchup for him.
It's insane how good he looks against the Raptors. And he's having fun, and he's dunking, and he's running. And
shooting the lights.
And he never gets in foul trouble.
One of the best shooting big men I've seen.
And foul trouble against every other team in the league. Not the Raptors. Ever. Ever.
Yeah. I don't know. I part of me just felt bad because it seemed like they were trying to put up a fight. And the other team just had too much talent, too much, again, basketball IQ. Like Ingram said there, other teams like that, the better teams know what they're doing in those moments. The Raptors don't. But to your point, that could go to coaching. Totally.
And I don't think it's like some wild concept.
No.
Because I'm not saying you have to be rigid on it at the end of every game. But by the fourth quarter, you know who's going and you know who isn't. Mm-hmm. It's not complicated.
Well, and to your point, too, even before the game, Michael Granger was talking about Quickly specifically and how much he likes to pick and roll with her. I didn't see that either.
No. Well, Quickly, I think he completely clams up against the Knicks.
It's weird.
RJ,
and RJ
normally does too, but he played well last night.
That's the RJ I want to see on a nightly basis. That was a great RJ. That was a great game for RJ.
Is it me or does RJ look like twice as big as he used to?
Yeah. Oh,
he's huge.
Bulked up.
Get inside. Throw a shoulder.
He was hurt for a while. He's probably hitting the gym.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he was. There was a comment here about Scotty Barnes.
I like this one. Raptors need a closer more than the Jays. Thanks, Sean.
That's pretty good. Where's the Scotty one? Anyway, someone was ripping Scotty in the chat. I don't want to act like I'm down on Scotty. I'm not down on Scotty. But I would like him once, like, there's a clear criticism progression for all NBA players. If you start to become all-star level, that's great. People need to see it in the fourth quarter a bit. And that goes with any superstar that's ever lived in the NBA. Scotty's kind of going through it now. And I want there to be a separation of, I'm a fan of his, which I am. I'm a huge fan of Scotty Barnes, to time in the fourth quarter against a division rival. You've lost 11 straight. Let's make some shots here. And you're not seeing that yet. I think you will. I'm a big Scotty Barnes guy. Big Scotty Barnes.
And again, always probably draws the toughest defensive assignment. Like, that's the other thing.
In theory, you're right, but I think Brandon Ingram's probably getting that a bit last night, too.
Okay. I think. Here's my other problem is, like, the Raps metrics would tell you they're a good defensive team, I think, overall. But sometimes they look so out of sorts on defense more than offense.
I think you're right. I think the eye test with the Raptors is very different than what you see on paper.
Yeah.
Very different.
Like, it's weird to me because I keep hearing they're a good defensive team, but watching them play sometimes, I'm like, I don't know if they go for steals too much or what they do, but they just look out of sorts as much on the defensive end as they do on the offensive end. To your point, that could go to coaching again.
Full Venom Jacket in the chat. I can't believe Scotty got a max deal. He's averaging 19 a game still. Can't close games to save his life. This is bad. I mean, he's doing a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Steals, blocks, defense. Like, he does a lot of stuff, Scotty.
He does.
He does a lot of things.
He's got a great all-around game, but he's not that guy. Like, to me, again, Ingram's the guy I want with the ball in his hand late in the fourth quarter more than Scotty.
Last night, yes. And most nights lately,
most
yes.
nights.
Yeah.
Just because of his ability to create a shot.
But
they're still like, what puts this team over the edge? Is it one player? Like, do they need one player? I know, like, it was a pipe dream. I know Will Luther out there, like a Donovan Mitchell. Like, is that the kind of a guy they need? They need a third player like that? Or just somebody who could drive the offense and set up stuff?
I think they need two things. They do need a third option that's consistent because it's not Quickly and it's not Barrett.
Right. And they're forcing that sometimes. Yeah.
So they do need another option. But that other option that comes in is worthless unless Scotty raises the average a little bit.
Fair.
Because he's going to have to. Like, I love Scotty, but 19 a game, it's not going to get you to the Eastern Conference Final. Dan Ruiz in the chat. Scotty needs to develop a low post game for mismatches. If he's going to continue exerting the majority of his energy on the defensive end, he'll need to learn to score in low energy output situations. It's pretty good analysis there. I think.
That is very.
I don't disagree with any of that.
Might have found our first guest.
There you go, Dan. You're up. We don't pay, but you're more than welcome to come on the show.
Here's somebody said you can't underrate Scotty's defense and his flexibility, which I agree with. But
I just hope fans don't do that often. But
to call him a franchise player and somebody you're banking so much on, you're right. Like, he has to show up at big times sometimes.
Because here's my problem with sometimes sports fans in the city of Toronto generally. I'm talking Leafs, I'm talking Jays, I'm talking Raptors. Defense isn't respected. Nylander's put on a pedestal. And sometimes you don't notice Nick Waugh. And sometimes you haven't noticed OEL this season because they've been quiet in their assignments. So you don't see that as much. But Nylander, what a cherry picking breakaway attempt that was. What a cherry picking attempt that was. And today's Jimenez gets acquired in a trade. He got trashed by that fan base. Yeah. I think me and 4 other people were defending that trade. He got trashed. Were you trashing him in the postseason when you saw him play short or second? Played a great second. Coolest bobblehead I've ever seen. Him sliding him. Love that bobblehead of Jimenez last year.
That's good.
Love it. Just fantastic. You got to respect defense. You need to respect Scotty's defense, guys. Like we can't just, he didn't make some shots in the 4th. Yes, true. Don't do that. Don't throw all the babies out with the bathwater. Don't. We need to respect defense a bit more in this city because it matters. It's going to matter with Scotty. It mattered in the postseason last year. It mattered so much they said, Bo, get out of here if you want to go. Think about that for a second.
Run prevention.
But sometimes run prevention is sexy.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
No, it's true.
Like
that's what I'm saying, though. That's what they sold it to us as, and they were right.
100%.
They were right. Honestly, last year, I don't think more than any other year, I've seen a team win so many baseball games just because they were fundamentally sound. They could play good defense.
That's true.
I saw the Jays win series last year because the other team didn't know what they're doing. The Yankees would have won the division if they had better defensive play.
And stop swinging for the fences once in a while. Play some more team defense.
Dude, play some
more team offense.
They scored the most runs in the majors.
Yeah, because they swung all the time.
Yeah, but that's fine.
No, it's not, but in the playoffs it's not because they had to go station to station. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you
but
what
if
the
you had
discourse
better
was.
Defense, it would win. It's like the Oilers.
That would win too.
You want to change to the Oilers? If you can score as many runs, you can swing for the fences as long as your defense is keeping them back a bit.
Mr. Spock in the chat, Toronto loves stars. They don't understand that winners are a team. I think for the most part they do. Sometimes you get a little lost in the sauce is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There are certain aspects of guys don't get respected as much because you want to just see them in the highlight do the thing with the thing. Right. We got to look at everything here. Got to look at everything. Michael in the chat, you know what's sexy? First rounders.
Toronto may not be looking at that either. Jeez.
No, I don't know if you're going to see that.
Yeah.
That you're not going to see.
Yeah, these 3 days are going to be so interesting.
Still nothing. I'm holding on to my Leafs prediction. I think the Leafs are making their first trade.
Anyways, what if you're wrong? What happens?
Nothing.
Cool.
Absolutely nothing.
I don't get a raise. You don't buy me a bag of chips. Nothing.
You know what? Here's your prize. If I'm right, I'm amazing.
Okay.
If you're wrong, you don't have to do a morning radio show tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
How about that? There you go. Sandy in the chat. We talked about Raptors for 20 minutes. Right back to the Leafs. Yeah. Sandy, does Sid expect any creativity from Treliving? We know he can trade the usual suspects. Does he get creative by putting Tanev on LTIR? I believe it's already happened, by the way. And take on a crap contract and pick to eat said contract. I don't think this is the type of market, and I don't think Treliving's working for the type of folks that would like that. I think that needs to be said. Let's just be very like that's an old school Arizona Coyotes move. A team that Treliving's familiar with.
Yeah.
Like this is I don't think the Leafs, which has been part of the problem at times, are comfortable with the uncomfortable thing. And I don't think that will happen here. I have no idea what the Leafs are going to do.
Me neither.
Like none. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Tune in on Monday and watch for those short videos on socials.
Oh, we'll have a few videos for sure.
Mm-hmm. Where are we going next?
I want to talk Oilers Sens last night.
Yeah.
So
Brady, that dirty.
Like usually at night I get some work done and I watch a few things here or there and some kind of scrums and this and that. I couldn't move off of this Oilers Sens game. It was crazy. Sens go up 4-2. Oilers come back. Brady Tkachuk, like at a rodeo, tries to kind of saddle up on Connor McDavid in overtime. He tackled him. And Bouchard wins the game. Bouchard doesn't celebrate. Weird vibe in Edmonton. Connor Ingram was terrible. Linus Ullmark was terrible. Nobody wanted to win the game last night. Like nobody wanted to win the game. So for the Oilers, let's start with the Oilers. Because Edmonton, they gave themselves a bit of breathing room here. So they're 4 points up on San Jose, who had a wild win against the Montreal Canadiens. Wild win. But the Oilers are still there. If the Oilers would have lost this game, they'd have been 2 back of missing the playoffs. And things would have, this Oilers situation might be more complicated than I think. Because, I'll let Leon Draisaitl speak for himself. He had a 5-point night. He has 10 points in 3 games, Leon Draisaitl. I think Stan Bowman needs to cool it in the public discourse. I think Chris Knobloch needs to cool it in the public discourse. Draisaitl can speak anytime he wants because he's actually doing stuff. So even in victory last night, Leon was very clear-eyed about what has to happen here with the Oilers.
Job in the third of putting them on their heels and keeping it fairly simple, and then we just needed 2 plays, so ended up working out for us. But you gotta be careful to be in those situations too many times, right? Like you can't keep chasing games going into the third. It's not a recipe for success. So at this time, you take any point you get, and there's a lot of positives tonight for sure. But there's also still some things that we need to clean up.
I wanted to run the whole clip because sometimes the context of Leon isn't given to everyone. And I wanted you to hear that whole thing.
Context is important.
Context is important. In a podcast form, we're allowed to give it.
Yeah.
Or at least our version of it.
We're not hitting no brakes.
No brakes here. All gas. No brakes.
Oh, look at you at the wrestling.
I know. But the Oilers, if they would have lost that game, some fans in Edmonton would have been trying to whoop that trick last night. Did I use that in the popular vernacular?
That's good. I like it.
Kira in the chat, Oilers need to get Stolarz or Wall. I make a call on Stolarz. He has Florida Panthers intel. Not that the Panthers are going to the playoffs. They're 10 out. They're done. But he has Stanley. He has some knowledge of what that would take. I don't hate the Oilers going after another goalie because they might have to. Ingram was lost last night again. Yeah. And but that's not just the problem, because I go back to the stuff we ran from Stan Bowman yesterday, GM of the Oilers. And he's like, we all have to be doing the right things, forwards, defense, goaltenders, and stop putting our goalies in a bad spot. As I was watching that Oilers-Sens game last night, I realized what he was talking about. If you're Connor McDavid, you're allowed to go around the world and do all the Cirque du Soleil stuff. If you're Draisaitl, you're a former league MVP. You can do whatever it is you want. The Podkolzins of the world and Kasperi Kapanens of the world, they've been on that team so long, they think they're McDavid. And they're trying the same garbage. And they're not good enough to get away with it. So it's just one turnover after another at either blue line, and then the other team goes the other way. And that's what I'm realizing is the problem with Edmonton as well. Too many guys have been around Connor too long and think they can pull that stuff. And they are average at best hockey players at that level. That's the issue. And it almost cost them again last night. Do you know the panic that would be going on in Edmonton if they woke up 2 points up on the final playoff spot?
Evan Bouchard, the hero, no?
The hero. Holding out for a hero.
But I think you're right. I think, those guys want to keep up because they know that's where the highlights come from, man. Connor and Leon. So why not?
So it was a big, big moment for the Oilers. The Sens, meantime, they're now 6 points out of a playoff spot. Mm-hmm. My question to you in the chat about the Sens, because their roster is interesting. They have guys they can sell, but they have great young pieces. Mm-hmm. If you're Steve Staios 6 points out, are you acquiring before Friday of this week? Or do you maybe want to get rid of the Nick Jensens of the world and get a pick back? What do you do? Because this is a very troublesome spot for a GM to be in. You are actually in the middle here. 6 points is not a lot of points. And you've been playing decent hockey. What do you do if you're the Ottawa Senators?
I talked to Brady.
But why? What is he, the GM? What do you mean I talked to Brady? He cost you the game last night.
No, I know.
What do you mean I talked to Brady?
I agree. But, okay, is he a part of your future moving forward?
Wow.
No, but
wow.
Could he use it against you if you don't make the playoffs? Saying, you know what?
Okay, here's what I don't want to have happen. It's a good point you bring up. I don't want to listen to a guy who's already decided he's going to bail on me in 2 years.
That's why I say talk to Brady. Where's he at?
So you want to have the Brady Tkachuk discussion right now?
Mm-hmm. How important does he think it is to go for it? Is this what's going to make him happy?
And if you don't get a good feeling from Brady,
because they do have a good core, and most of them are young.
But if you don't get a good feeling with Brady, then what? What are you suggesting? Are you suggesting this trade deadline trying to move that guy? If you don't get a good feeling from Brady Tkachuk?
Not trying to move him, but knowing what to do with the other pieces.
Because according to the Chicklets guys, Jason Robinson, and you should really know who Jason Robertson is. I'm sorry. But I love that show. But like they should know that.
I miss from a guy who has problems sometimes saying names. I give him a pass.
It happens,
and he's played in the league, so I give him a pass.
Jason Robertson. Jason Robertson is not a fourth liner in this league.
True.
Like it's
no, you're right.
We all make mistakes. But are you suggesting if you don't get an answer from Brady in this situation? I hate the situation the Sens are in. This is not easy. You move him. You contemplate moving Brady Tkachuk this deadline.
No.
That's not what you're saying.
No, it's not what I'm saying. But it's to your point of what to do with some of the other pieces they have. Do you become more a seller or a buyer? Because do you try and keep Brady happy and go for it, try and get in?
But it's not about Brady. Like again,
I know, but
it's about I'm tired of this. Make Brady Tkachuk. I got news for everyone. Has already decided whether he's going to go or stay.
Right, which is why you have to have the conversation with.
But I think the Sens know. Okay. Is my point. And I think they're going to.
To me, it depends on what you do.
I think they're going to tell us potentially between now and Friday.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with that. That's what I'm saying, though. They have to know. So because I don't know, I say have the conversation with him. If I knew where he was at, because I'm really starting to question where he's at if he wants to be in Ottawa.
Because I'm hearing the Mackenzie Weegar thing a lot. Like he's an Ottawa native. Flames definitely might move that guy. I don't know. I don't know if this is the team now. I don't know if this is if this is a give up assets situation for Steve Staios and the Ottawa Senators. That was a big game last night.
It was
big game last night.
How open do you think the Eastern Conference is, though?
Pretty open,
right?
Like the Buffalo Sabres last night. Just they won the Jack Eichel Bowl, and the place is going nuts in Buffalo. But I don't think Buffalo. I think there's people in the chat mad at me all the time. I don't believe in a GM bounce. There's something about the Sabres I don't trust.
It's still Kevin Adams' team.
It's still his team. Like, what do you mean? They've changed nothing. It's the same team. It's the exact same team.
It could be the Leafs last year.
They're 2 points back of Tampa.
Yeah.
And they could be like the first seeded team in the East. I don't know how this is going to play out.
Do you want to remind people the Leafs won the Atlantic last year?
Oh, yeah.
They've lost one player.
Leafs won the Atlantic.
Yeah.
It's true.
No, but I just... Because if Ottawa gets in, this is maybe one of those things where if you get an eighth and you believe in some of your players, you could make a run as long as you get goaltending. Because Ottawa was looking good for a while they were getting good goaltending.
They were, but like the good goaltending in Ottawa has been few and far between. Right. My issue is if Allmark's going to pull that on you, you're not making the playoffs.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
But you're committed. What's his contract? Like they're kind of committed to him too. No.
Oh no, I'm not suggesting you move off of him.
No, not him, but what you do with some of the other players. Like how much of that is in your future? It all depends about your future. It's not just about this year.
But this is why the Sens might be one of the most interesting teams today because they have a future.
Right. I agree with you.
Even if Tkachuk leaves, there's some good young talent here.
Agreed.
Like they've done a decent job. Like
But this is where you can't get trapped. This is where you can't sell off your future and get caught for 10 years.
I mean, Allmark at 32 has 3 years left on his deal.
Right.
Now I think a decent backup Stolarz quality number 2 in the offseason is a legitimate discussion for Steve Staios and the Ottawa Senators. No question about it. But in terms of this, like I take some pride in being decisive. I think it's important in life at times to be decisive. But I don't know what you do with this after last night. Staios can't have the same confidence, especially if the goaltending is going to look like that at times. I don't know what Allmark was doing last night, but I don't know what to do with this team in Ottawa.
No, I'm with you.
No idea.
I'm with you. I don't know. And if they have I hope they have a good sense or a feeling about Brady.
I hope they better.
Because this offseason would be very telling for them too. Not just as trade deadline, but the offseason.
I agree. Randy in the chat, Santander talk coming up in the 2 p.m. hour.
I saw that.
Potentially. We'll talk about the Santander story in a moment. But I do want to hit on the Montreal Canadiens. And
best Canadian team right now.
In the standings? They're the best team, eh?
No, I just think overall. Because Edmonton has this going on. What Canadian team do you put above Montreal right now? 5 of them are disasters.
It might be the Habs. I think you're right.
It is by far.
Good point, Azza.
I'm getting a shirt with that put on.
Good point. The Habs own the first wild card in the Eastern Conference right now at 75 points. They would take on Tampa in the first round if it started today.
And they own most of their draft picks. They haven't mortgaged anything.
Oh, they have everything.
Their future looks great too.
They have everything. They lost a wild one in San Jose yesterday. 4 points for Celebrini. Celebrini was something else. But the Habs, Dobish at times didn't look right. But the Habs have a lot to think about here. And that number 2 center, they could still use one. And they have been in this Robert Thomas discussion for a few days in earnest, but probably longer than that.
There've been a few discussions.
Yeah, whether it's Robert Thomas, whether it's maybe a cheaper guy, I'm assuming a cheaper guy in Nazem Kadri because he's older. Like I don't know what Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton might be pulling here in Montreal.
They've been pulling some right strings up until
for
now.
Sure. But the discussion that's come out of Montreal the last few days, which is really interesting, is whatever the Habs do, it's going to cost you. And they have a prospect pool to do it. Now, just trading a top prospect is, in terms of saying it, is one thing. Doing it is another. And I think at this time of year, considering all hell hasn't broken loose in terms of the trades yet, I think it's a good time, as we kind of wind down the show today, to throw a story out into the ether to remind you that these are human beings and these are real relationships that we're talking about. So the Montreal Canadiens have Michael Hage as one of their prospects. Oakville kid, tearing it up with University of Michigan. I think he had 15 points in 7 games at the World Juniors for Canada this year. And the Habs took him with the 21st pick of the 2024 draft when they were down in Vegas. And there's a pretty legitimate conversation in Montreal about if you're going to get that center behind Nick Suzuki or a Bennington or a Bobrovsky, a kid like Michael Hage plausibly could be out the door. That's the type of player we're talking about. But yesterday on the Sick podcast with Tony Marinaro, he was talking with Eric Engels. And no one does Habs talk like Tony. So they were talking about the potential of having to get rid of a Michael Hage, a top prospect in the Montreal Canadiens organization. And for those of you who haven't heard this story, it is a clear illustration and something we overlook all the time that these deals are way more difficult to do for teams than sometimes we acknowledge. And there are moments where it rips your heart from your chest if you have to do it. Michael Hage and the Montreal Canadiens mean something to each other. And this is the road and the story that Tony Marinaro told recently on his podcast on the Sick Media Network.
Definitely entertain the discussion for Kapanen. I'd be really scared to entertain that discussion with Michael Hage because I think, and once again, you were so right when we said we just don't know. I think Hage could end up being better than Thomas, and that's where I'm a little bit tentative to go any further. But at the same time, Hage could end up being better than Thomas in 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 years from now. But Thomas could probably help the Canadiens win 2 Stanley Cups in the next 5. So
that's what they have to think about right now. That's what they have to think about. It's the truth.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's Hage's story. Hage's story, I mean, for those who missed it, I mean, his dad was a Montreal Canadiens fan and his mom's from here. And he lost his dad a couple of years ago in a swimming accident. And, he wanted to be drafted by the Montreal Canadiens. And, him and his mom are basically praying to God that night of the draft in the Sphere in Las Vegas. And he looks over at his mom, you think they'll pick me? And the Canadiens end up making a trade, and they end up acquiring that 21st pick. I know when I got to Vegas, I can tell you that someone very, very close to the situation had whispered in my ear that the Canadiens were in love with Michael Hage and wanted him badly.
For those who haven't heard that story, it's a hell of a story. And obviously the relationship with Hage and the Habs is, blood is thicker than water. And there's a lot going on there. So I guess the point, 2 things off that clip. One, if you're not listening to Tony's pod, listen to it. because it's very good. And Tony's dialed in, especially in that market. And 2, if the Habs do anything with Michael Hage leaving the organization, they think they can win a cup in the next 3 years. There is no clearer sign than that. Because this kid, on and off the ice, has a lot of fans in that city. A lot of fans. And that's one where if you see that happen, if that crosses your phone, if Friedge or Dreger or LeBron or someone has it, you need to just go, whoa. Because that will be, in my opinion, the serious thing Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton will have done since they took over the team. Because sometimes it's not just about the hockey. Sometimes about more important things than that. We shall see. As a hell of a clip from Marinero Show.
That's a
hell of a clip.
I didn't notice.
It's a well-documented story, but like to hear it recounted again in this moment where you're hearing the Habs potentially have their hand in a lot of pots, you better believe they're being asked about Michael Hage.
Yeah.
In a serious way. And those, I don't envy Hughes and Gorton in those meetings.
No, without a doubt.
I do not. Do you think the
and
Habs...
it's more than just a prospect,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Like, because that's all people, trade a prospect for it. Like, get rid of your prospects. But that means something to that kid, to the organization. And having him come up under or in a Habs jersey would be incredible. Do
you think the Habs think they're that close?
I was wondering this listening to that. Is it their time yet? I don't think.
Personally, I don't think.
Me neither.
I think moving Hage is like a next year, 2 years from now thing in theory. But we're going to find out what because the Habs can't do both. Either they're going to improve their goaltending or they're going to get the center. Right. It's one of the two. Now, I mean, do they have the assets? Of course they have the assets. They've done a hell of a job there. But the cap is still a real thing. and will all the players be available? Like, is there a world where they get Binnington and Robert Thomas from St. Louis? Can you imagine?
That would be incredible.
Can you imagine? Like, that is a swing of all swings for the cup.
It would be. And here's my other thing. Like, you're willing to trade these prospects because the guys you even have at the NHL level are all young guys.
Yes.
Right? Like,
correct.
It's easier to trade that prospect that's 7 years, 6 years down the road because all the guys you have are going to have futures here. And is it worth bringing a guy with a Stanley Cup pedigree or some experience in the postseason to guide these younger guys through it?
Well, the good thing, that's why I'm always a fan of, like when I hear the argument, they're a young team. Do they really need to get in the playoffs? I'm like, yes. Yes. The best thing to happen to Suzuki and that crew last year was to see Ovechkin. Best thing.
Same. I was going to say same thing for the Senators with the Leafs last year. You don't think losing leaves a mark on some of those younger guys?
It does. And it depends on how you react to it.
Because they fought them hard.
I could tell you the Habs have reacted in a decent way. Yeah. Now, they're not a perfect team, but they learned some things watching Tom Wilson run around and trying to... I just got my first wave from someone in the office building during the show.
That just happened?
That just happened.
Amazing.
They're on to us, Ezra.
Yeah.
They're on to us.
Oh boy.
I don't think that kind of move is a this year move. But again, my only point in playing that great clip from Tony's show was if Hage moves, it's serious business in that organization.
Yeah. They're ready. But
that's not a light thing.
How open is the Eastern Conference again?
It's open.
I think so. So why not make a push? We've seen younger teams do it.
Let's play this game in the Eastern Conference.
Who's a contender? And again,
let's play who can win the cup in the Eastern Conference. Chat, play along with us. Who can win the cup?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Lightning, I say yes.
Yes.
Tampa Bay can win the cup.
It's almost frustrating how long they've been in this and how do it. Like, they're a sneaky team to watch at the deadline too. Because they always do what it takes.
But Vasilevsky's been dumped on a lot by a lot of people. I've always been a Vasilevsky guy.
How could you not be?
Like Braden Point, he's healthy out of nowhere. Buffalo Sabres, can they win the cup? No. Thank you for answering, Azo. Thank you for answering. No.
Oh, man.
The Sabres are losing in the first round. I don't want to hear this. You don't fire a GM and all of a sudden everything's fixed. There are warts there. There are corners you have not gotten into. You have not lifted the carpeting to see what's underneath. I don't buy this for a second. Terry Pagula, who's awful, is still owning that franchise. And by the way, they should leave this team the way it is. Don't touch it. If Jarmo Kekalainen doesn't want to trade Alex Tuch because he's afraid of disrupting the lineup, don't bring in 3 guys because I got news for you. The Leafs played that game 1 year. It disrupted the room all the same.
100%.
All the same. Yeah. So leave it. Because I don't know what this is, but it's working. If you bring in 2 or 3 guys, you have no idea what's about to happen. None. Did you answer the question on the Sabres, or did I answer it for you?
I said no.
Detroit Red Wings, can they win the Cup?
I don't think they're there.
I don't think they're there either.
I put Montreal ahead of them.
They're an Elias Pettersson away from winning the Cup. Detroit.
Yeah, that's what
they're an Elias Pettersson away. The Carolina Hurricanes, can they win the Cup?
Boringly,
no.
Yes. They always cough it up. They don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick Ehlers, God bless.
I put the
not taking him to a Cup.
I put the 2 teams under them in the Metro ahead of them.
Pittsburgh Penguins, assuming Crosby comes back.
Assuming Crosby comes back.
Can they win the Cup?
Do it for Sid. Sure.
Is that a yes from Jeffrey
Why not?
Azzopardi?
He can lead them. Yes, it is.
I say no.
Okay.
The New York Islanders with Matthew Schaefer.
Can they win? The Vibes in New York.
Can
Long Island.
Patrick Waugh, as long as he doesn't have his Stanley Cup rings in his ears, can he win the Cup with the New York Islanders and an 18-year-old defenseman?
Hold on. Wait, who doesn't root for an Islanders Canadiens Eastern Conference final?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That would be, or a series at all.
I'll take a series.
A series, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
I'll just take a series.
Tampa will be waiting on the other side, but maybe a series of that would be incredible.
Ben in the chat, Tyler Myers traded. It's done. Yes. He is on his way to the Dallas Stars. I don't know if that shifts the balance in the Central Division at all. And
honestly, I put the Canadiens in the top 3 of teams that could win the East.
Oh my God. What did the Sharks just do? Kiefer Sherwood, 5-year extension.
Flipped again?
No, he's staying.
Oh, he's staying.
5-year deal in San Jose for Sherwood, $5.7 million. Good luck with that.
Whoa.
The most overrated player in hockey, Kiefer Sherwood. Are you serious? 5 years? Wait to waste your cap space. Great move.
Maybe Celebrini likes something. Leave him alone.
Get out of here. He's playing third line. He's not even playing with Wenberg. He's not even playing with Celebrini.
That is crazy. Dude,
incredible.
Almost $6 million for a third liner in 5 years.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
That's where we're headed, huh?
Yep. Wow. But that's where the cap is kind of
going. Did he get a no movement? No.
I don't know. It's a good question. The Montreal Canadiens right now, can they win the Stanley Cup?
I say they're in the top 3 of teams that can win it in the East. I'll put it that way.
Do you think the Habs can win the Stanley Cup?
No.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they're there yet, but they're getting close.
The Boston Bruins.
No.
I don't think they can either. So we went through the 8 teams currently in playoff positions.
No, go through the next. Yeah.
And you and I agree on Tampa?
Tampa, and
that's it.
That's it.
Why not Montreal this year?
Who would be your second team?
Second team?
Yeah. I'm
gonna be very serious with you right now. If the Habs get either a goalie or a second line center, I'm looking at Montreal.
Okay.
Because I think they're close. It's got to be a veteran presence. It's got to be someone who's been there before. Like Thomas counts, Kadri counts. There's guys out there
for sure.
But
I just think the Penguins have guys who have the experience. They could maybe do it.
I don't know.
They have holes. Don't get me, but all these teams do. Carolina always coughs it up. They can't count on their goaltending either.
Do you know who has the longest winning streak right now in the Eastern Conference? The New York Islanders. 5 straight wins.
Dude, the vibes there are amazing.
I'm
there for the vibes.
I'm becoming an Islanders guy.
Yeah.
The more this goes along.
It's crazy.
To see Patrick Waugh do this, let's go. Let's go.
Dude, it's 152.
What do we have time for here?
Dude,
I want to talk quickly about our good. Listen, if you think Brad Treliving is having a bad week, if you think Bobby Webster and the Raptors are kind of trying to find themselves, there's another Toronto name very familiar with this market that's having a worse week. And it's our dear friend Alex Anthopoulos, GM of the Atlanta Braves. Alex Anthopoulos won a World Series in 2021 after he left the Jays and then had a cup of coffee with the Dodgers and then became the GM of Atlanta. So the Braves won the World Series in 2021. And 2022, they went to the NLDS, lost to the Phillies. 2023, NLDS, lost to the Phillies again. In 2024, they lost a wild card series, a brief one, to the San Diego Padres. So, they've still been in the mix, but they've been coming down the mountain a touch. Last year, awful, and it didn't start well. In January of last year, Alex Anthopoulos signed Jurickson Profar, who had a pretty good year with the San Diego Padres. Hit .280, drove in 85 runs. 20 some odd home runs. Not a great defensive left fielder, but his offense carried the day. Jurickson Profar, when they signed him from the Padres, I believe he finished top 15 in MVP voting that year in 2024. So Profar had a profile, dare I say. So Anthopoulos signs this guy last January 2025. 4 games into the season, he suspended 80 games for performance enhancers. Profar missed 80 games after taking HCG, which makes testosterone. Baseball doesn't like that. They used to love that. They don't like that anymore. So Profar missed 80 games, and the Braves season is sunk. They finished 10 games below 500. So this year, they're like, new year. Braves are dealing with some injuries, especially in the pitching department. But new year, Alex Anthopoulos says, we're going to get Profar back, and we're going to have a different season. Yesterday, he got suspended again for PEDs. And because it's his second suspension, he got hit with a season-long suspension, 162 games. The guy Alex Anthopoulos signed in January of 2025, who missed 80 games last year, is going to miss 162 games this year for the exact same thing. Performance enhancers. He got hit with exogenous. Let me try that again. Exogenous testosterone. That's why I'm broadcasting and not a doctor.
You're a doctor, yeah.
What that means is, and I know it doesn't sound like I know what it means. What it means is testosterone in your body that came in from an outside source, not produced by yourself. So a cream, a pill, exogenous means outside in. I wanted to hit it one more time to prove that I could pronounce it properly. And also, for the record, if you're thinking about exogenous testosterone, it also causes testicular suppression. So if you're using this to get some testosterone, it could affect your sperm count. So suffice to say, a ballsy move by Jurickson Profar. Long way to go for that line, but I got here. So not only is he suspended for the whole season for the Braves, he can't play for the Netherlands in the World Baseball Classic. He's from Curaçao. He was going to be on Team Netherlands. So I hope Sid had some exogenous in his coffee. Thank you, Mike. So just spare a thought as you walk around enjoying your Wednesday, which is a lovely early March Wednesday here in Southern Ontario. It's like 5 degrees, 6 degrees, no clouds in the sky. It's a lovely day. While you're walking around or commuting, spare a thought for Alex Anthopoulos, who signed a guy last January who missed 80 games last season and will miss 162 this season because he's an asshat. He's appealing the suspension, by the way. I'm sure he will find a sympathetic ear with whoever's hearing that appeal. I'm sure. Poor Alex Anthopoulos.
I agree.
But he's got his World Series ring, Azo.
He does.
His World Series ring.
Does. And he made some good moves there, too. Remember when he had to re-up Freeman and he didn't, and he went and got Olsen? That worked out pretty well.
And then, even the year they won the World Series, he brought in like Rosario from the Twins. Like he made a bunch of moves that year that really worked out for him.
It's true. But this Profar thing is just
ridiculous. The Profar story is crazy.
It is.
This is crazy.
2 years in a row. And from all accounts, MLB has one of the easiest. You can call somebody and be like, can I take this? Yes or no? And this guy's done it twice now where the answer was no and he just took it anyway.
Broken bats in the chat. More like Jurickson too far.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Think about your mentality. If you get an 80-game suspension for PEDs and the first thing you think about in the offseason is, I need some more PEDs.
Or the wife. Yeah.
I guess that's how that led to the great season with the Padres in 2024. Poor Alex Anthopoulos. Anyway. A testy situation between Jurickson Profar and Alex Anthopoulos.
You made me watch enough videos about it in the pre-show meeting.
Sid, you are an exogenous. Thank you, Denver. I got it right. A couple comments and we'll wrap it up, Azo. What do you got? What do you got?
So Paul says, this is why I never got a Leafs jersey with any name on the back.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's smart.
Brilliant. Because those jerseys are expensive enough. What are the letters? Like another $50 per letter?
Yes.
Like something stupid like that?
They come with them. You can buy them with them.
Or if they come with them.
Michael said, conspiracy theory. Double A realized it was a bad contract and snuck some PEDs into his lunch.
Because he has to give back the money.
Yeah.
Profar has to give back the $15 million this year.
Rightfully so.
Oh,
I totally agree with that.
Better believe it.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
Oh, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
I lied about this Leaf trade. Never came.
Yeah.
Never came.
Why you're pushing it. Okay, you want some more comments? Give you a few more minutes to try and sort this
out?
out?
No, it's 1:59 Eastern. It's fun. Anything else, Azza?
No, I'm good, man.
What? Any wrestling shirt you're wearing today? Any Danhausen? What are you wearing?
Little. I got to put myself on.
Throw
again.
it up.
Thank you.
Throw it up.
A little Bret Hart. Little.
Jim the Anvil. Look at this. Back it up. Look at this.
Look at that.
Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil
Slam,
Niner. The video game? Oh, that's a hell of a shirt.
Right?
Look at that.
That's true. There you go.
Shout out the Hart Foundation. One of the all-time great tag teams.
Best tag team ever.
And Jim the Anvil Neidhart gave the space for Bret to grow, and Bret turned into an all-time superstar.
And that cackle just in every interview. That was amazing.
Rest in peace, Jim the Anvil.
That's the one thing I forgot to tell you about Elimination Chamber was how CM Punk came out. Came out to like the 90s Bulls theme with Michael Jordan.
Oh.
Came out to that and they announced him because he's from Chicago. It was pretty amazing.
That's great. All right. Yeah. I know there's a lot of fans of Azzo's wrestling shirts in the chat. So I just want to keep
rocking them. Come on. I was going to save it, but yeah. Okay.
All right. Good stuff, Azzo.
Yeah, it was fun. Man.
So much for a short show.
I know.
Do you know we had another 2 or 3 items that we missed?
Well, we can still get to some.
We'll get to that tomorrow. It's not like the Leafs are going to make a trade.
Yeah. The only thing we missed that we didn't hit on was the McGrady and Vince at the game last night.
I totally missed. You know what? Hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought.
It's called the tease for tomorrow.
Tease.
Because there probably won't be any trades.
Azzo, good stuff.
Thanks, buddy.
Our apologies. We were going to get to the Anthony Santander story, but we ran out of time. On behalf of Jeff Azzopardi and everyone here at Sick Media, my name is Sid. You've been watching the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Take care. We'll talk soon.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sid Seixeiro Show on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts.